we're going to queer up sports. Courts rhymes with sports. We're going to queer up courts. Japan's Supreme Court rules transgender employee can use bathroom matching identity. Japan's Supreme Court handed down a landmark decision on Tuesday, ruling against a government agency that had barred a transgender employee from using the women's bathroom. The decision was the top court's first ruling involving the rights of sexual minorities in the workplace. The plaintiff is an employee in her 50s working at Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. She was assigned a male gender at birth, but started living as a woman around 2008, except in the workplace. In 2009, she told her supervisor that she wanted to identify as a woman at work and requested permission to use the women's bathroom. The employee's request was granted, but only for a bathroom 2 floors away. The employee then filed a request to improve the situation to the National Personnel Authority, a Japanese administrative agency that protects the rights of civil servants, but was rejected. In 2015, the plaintiff filed a suit against the government at the Tokyo District Court, arguing that it was discriminatory to be banned from using certain bathrooms. 3 years later, the Tokyo District Court ruled that METI's decision was illegal and ordered the government to pay damages of $9,200. After the Tokyo High Court overturned that decision in 2021, the plaintiff took her case to the Supreme Court. Much of Japan has long held conservative views toward LGBTQ+ issues, and while polls in recent years have suggested attitudes are shifting, activists say discrimination is still commonplace. When I read this story, it reminded me of the scene in the movie Hidden Figures, where the Katherine Johnson character, played by Taraji Henson, has to explain to her boss that she has to go like 2 buildings away to use the bathroom because they were whites-only bathrooms, and how her boss then tore that sign down and said, and so this is what made, and I'm getting all emotional because I watched that scene today, and it's really powerful, but it's an amazing thing how change can be brought about in a workplace.
Here's an interesting thing. Japan is the only G7 country with no LGBTQ+ rights laws, and this is a victory. Plain and simple, this is a big-ass victory.
It's a labor issue, right? Like, I mean, that is like, I mean, amongst other things, this is it's very clear, right? That she's unable to do her job. She's unable to, like, I mean, this is employment discrimination, and just amongst many other things, right? And I think so often, you know, trans people in the United States started going to the courts for similar things, for being fired or simply not being able to use the restrooms that they, you know, there's just so many different ways that people have navigated this through the courts. This is an enormous victory for sure. And I wasn't thinking about that scene specifically, but the policing of people in the bathrooms has really deep anti-Black origins. In the United States, as in elsewhere, there is like the policing of these spaces often comes from like imperial or colonial and anti-Black sentiments. Like that is, they didn't just appear out of nowhere, right?
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.